Hey everyone, welcome back into the channel. Today I just wanted to do a quick what's in the bag for you, what discs that I are kind of a sentimental thing, ones that I expect to stay around in the bag, and ones that may be finding their way either out or into a different type of slot in the bag as well. So just wanted to walk you through what I currently have and give you an idea of what I'm throwing, and if you have any suggestions on what I could be throwing or something that might be a good change for me, definitely let me know down in the comments. We'll start with the putting putters. Currently have the Challenger SS from Discraft, just with the small Discraft stamp on those. I've been putting with them for a while. For me, a lot of people I'm sure as well. Paul McBeth, the craze came around where everybody was putting with Lunas. I did start out when I first really started buying discs. That was one of the first ones I've got. I've still got some of the first run Lunas that I putted with, but have since then gone to something just a little bit shallower, and have putted with these now for 4 years or so, and I really like the Challenger SS. So those are a pretty good staple in my bag. But if you know any more shallow putters that you really like that might be a good to try, definitely let me know. I would like to see what you have as a suggestion there. And then kind of my main throwing stable or overstable throwing putter, I've got the Get Freaky Zone. This one has been in the bag for a while as well. Of course, Brodie Smith hit the scene, and this was a really popular one that came out. I've had this one in the bag for a long time. The Zone is one of those that is just a staple if you need an overstable putter approach type of disc. The Zone is obviously one that you will see very common. And then we'll go to the utility pouches. These are ones that are really common for me to throw off of the tee when I need to throw longer distances. The main one that you I know saw in the first video is that Thrasher. This is the Ghost Stamp Thrasher. I believe this was the Tour Series for Missy Gannon 2023 maybe. I've had this one in the bag for a while and actually started out pretty stable for a Thrasher, and is now beat into where it definitely is a flip over disc. But if I get it out on enough hyzer, it's a really good long flying disc. So I really enjoy that one. And then one that we are kind of trying to work into that slot as well for a distance type of disc. This is the Raider. This is a Domi one, a nice pop top, so it's pretty stable right now. But this is a new addition that I'm trying to get worked in. I actually got this in a player's pack in 2023, a tournament that I played in, and this is the first time I've actually started working it into the bag. So I think I'm going to really like this one. I think this is a Lucid is the plastic there for dynamic discs, but really like the look of this one, and I think it's going to turn out to be a really good flyer once it's beat in a little bit for me. My main throwing putter is the Sky God. This is the Simon Lizotte line from Discmania. Really like this one as well. It's a straight to stable finisher, so this is one that I can throw hard and know that it's going to pop up, ride straight, and then finish just right at the very end. So really enjoy throwing that one, and that's one that I expect to kind of stay in the bag for a while until it's just time to maybe get something new. We'll go to the last few of the throwing putter iterations. I've got a little bit more. This is going to be a straighter to understable. This is a Ben Callaway Glow Roach. So this one's going to be straight to turn for a throwing putter for me. It's not a super common throw that I am comfortable with necessarily, but one that I want to try to incorporate more is that slow turning putter shot. So that's one that I hope to incorporate a lot more with that Roach. And then these kind of go hand in hand. This is one that I'm kind of trying to work in to see if it might fight for a slot in the bag. I've got this Razor Claw. This is an Eagle McMahon Discmania Razor Claw, the 3. It is similar to the Zone for me, but one that I just really like. It's got a good feel to it, and trying to see if it can compete with the Zone for me, just to see if maybe it can steal a spot in the bag. And then I do have one more Zone. This is an ESP black or maybe dark green Zone, that this is going to be my straighter Zone. I can throw hard and flat, and it's going to be pretty much straight. It's going to fly similar to the Sky God as far as the actual flight characteristics, but it's not as glidey, so it's going to be a little bit better in the wind, but it's a little bit more beat up. Had this one for a while, so that's a pretty big staple, and that's one that I will kind of, as I beat in the zones, will rotate them out and then move in a new one. Pretty much my go-to. And then we'll move into the mid ranges. I've got the bottom of the bag. This is a Discraft Wasp, but this one, as you can see, it is really beat up. It's got some bend to it. It is a, I think it's a CT Wasp, so it's really been in the bag for a long time. I've been able to say Jawbreaker, actually Jawbreaker CT, so it's a little bit softer, but it's one that is nice and beat up. I've had in the bag for a long time, and basically can throw it flat and turn it, or I can hyzer flip it up. I just really like this one for a woodsy type of disc. Then I know it's kind of a point and shoot for me, so really love having that one in the bag. And this is one that I've got a couple on the shelf that, as this one starts to really lose its stability, I'll start trying to work in a new one. But I just really like the way that the Wasp feels. I like the beat on it. That's one that, if you have any suggestions for on something I should try in that slot, let me know. But that one's a good one that I enjoy. And this one is one that is kind of a sentimental disc for me. This is a Champion Rock 3, just one that I got at Academy. I've had for a lot of these discs I've had for a while, but this one actually had my first, and currently at the time of this video, my only ace. This is the disc that I threw it with, so it's a sentimental disc. It's a nice, this is just a little bit of a step up from that CT Wasp. It's nice and gummy, which I really like, but it is a straight shooter, nice and flat, and just really one of those classic discs that you can't beat the feel of, and a little bit of a bead, which I do like in the mid ranges. And then we move on to kind of the two maybe competitors. I've got two buzzes in the bag. These are very similar, just kind of the same slot that I might move to just one, because I do have that Rock 3, but it's just a little bit of a different feel because it is a beadless disc. I will throw this one as well, just depending on what I'm feeling in the moment, but these are pretty similar as far as flight characteristics. Point and shoot. I can turn it, I can throw it on hyzer, get it to fade, or I can throw it flat, get it to ride straight. So that the Buzz and the Rock 3 kind of do the same thing, but one with the bead, one without the bead. It's hard for me to differentiate between the two. It just kind of is a feel thing for when I want to throw each one. And then this is the overstable mid in my bag. This slot is one that I'm definitely open to hearing some suggestions. I don't really know what's big in the overstable mid market, but currently I've got the Malta. This is just the Big Z Malta. This is another older one. I've had it for at least a couple of years now. It's just nice and stable. It's basically just flies a little bit further than the zone, but with the same characteristics. It's got that beat again. That's a characteristic that I seem to have gravitated toward in the mid ranges, which for me, not liking a beadless putter, I really do like a beadless throwing, or a beaded throwing disc, especially in the mid ranges. So the Malta I really like the feel of. But if you have suggestions, let me know. That one could possibly be moved out. Then we will move into fairways. I've got for my flippy fairway, this is a Westside Discs Underworld. This is super flippy, super glidey, but it's a fun utility disc. Had this one, again, a lot of these have just been around for a long time. I haven't really gone to new discs in a while, so that could be upcoming for me, but really like this one. It's just a utility disc. You can do a lot with it, a lot of hyzer, flip it up, or you can turn it over. Even you can throw a roller with it. It's just a perfect woodsy type of disc, and out in the open you can do some silly things with it as well. Really like that one, and it's in a base plastic, so it beats in nice and quick. And then another, this is actually another beaded disc, one that I really like, the Stalker. This is actually a little bit more stable, so this one I can throw nice and hard and flat. It's going to stay straight and finish, or I can still force it over and get it to glide out, get a good full flight out of it. But really like the Stalker. That's a staple in my bag as well. And then we go to a little bit faster, but still on the flippier side. This is the Roadrunner Innova. This was also one that I got in a players pack in a tournament that I've really liked incorporated. It's just one that I can throw flat. It's going to turn. I can hyzer flip it. Again, does the same thing as kind of what the Underworld would be. Not quite as flippy, but it's just a little bit faster. And then these are really my go-to as far as fairway drivers go. I've got two of the TI Undertakers. Really like these. The TI plastic I'm a big fan of as well. These are straight shooters, ones that are versatile. I can do whatever I want with them. I can force hyzer shots to turn corners. Really like, for me, my go-to shot with those is hard, flat, and it just flies straight for a really long time. Big fans of the Undertaker. I don't know if they're overrated or underrated. I know Paul McBeth, of course, throws the Undertaker, but I really like them. Big fan of those. And then I've got this First Run Onyx. This one is going to be on the more stable side of the bag for me. I've got a couple of different options there in the overstable. So I've got this one in the Onyx that is going to be straight and finished, so it's stable, definitely more stable than the Undertaker. And then I go one more step up with this Felon. This is just, to me, maybe one of the coolest discs in my bag. It is a stampless, clear Felon, and I just love it. It is super, super stable. So it's like a kind of a Captain's Raptor type of disc, but I just could not get over how good I thought this one looked in the no stamp, the clear plastic. Just love it. And this is one that is super trustworthy in the wind, or just a hyzer shot out around trees, something like that. Really like this one, and these kind of go hand in hand. This one just a little bit straighter, going to fly a little bit further for me. And lastly, we will go into our two more distance drivers. We've got the utilities that we already talked about. This is the first one up, is the longest, I think the longest tenured disc in my bag. I've had this one for 5 or 6 years now, at least 5 years. This is the Zeus. This is a First Run Zeus. It is in that ESP plastic, so it takes a long time for these to beat in. And even this one, as long as I've had it, it's still not super beat in, but it's gotten to a point where I can get it out flat and turn it a little bit if I want to. I can also force it over and get a full flight out of it, but can still throw it on hyzer, and it's going to have that pretty true flight with just flipping up a little bit. I love this disc. This is the kind of the go-to stable, just off the tee, get something out there safely. Really like this one. And then lastly, just to have some sort of an overstable distance driver. Currently, I've got the Big Z Venom in the bag. This is one that previously I've had the Force in the bag, which I really liked, but the Force was just a touch, I think just a touch less stable. But then one thing that I also like about this Venom is it is slightly more shallow than the Force as well, so I've really liked that. But this is one that I'm open to suggestions. I really just want something that I know when it's super windy, for whatever reason, in West Tennessee, it is windy a lot, so it's a disc that I have to pull out off of the tee more often than you would kind of expect, just because you have to have that stability and you really can't have it turn over, knowing that I can throw it out there flat or on hyzer and it's going to do exactly what it should, and that's finish left. So if you have suggestions in that slot, let me know. But right now the Venom is in the bag and I like it. It does exactly what it needs to do. And that is my bag. It is pretty straightforward, kind of, I think, a little bit Discraft heavy, just because that's where I started when I really started watching disc golf. Paul McBeth is a guy that I really liked watching, and so kind of gravitated towards that Discraft lineup, but am open to hearing what you guys might recommend. Let me know some things that you would like to see me try. I would love to do some reviews as well for you to show off some discs that you might be curious about, let me know. I'll find them and see if we can test them out for you to get an idea of what a kind of medium range arm looks like for you and give you an idea of if it's worth picking one up. So hope you enjoyed this one. That is my in the bag. Let me know if there's anything I should add or change. Let me know if there's anything that you want to see me try as well. Hope you enjoy this video, and we will see you all in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. You guys are a blessing, the ones that are already watching. It's really been amazing to see the ones that are already jumping in and enjoying the content. So I really appreciate it, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye.